Good evening and welcome obviously to the Talk English project. Firstly, can I apologise for not being able to attend with you tonight. Unfortunately I had some prior commitments, but I really wanted to introduce myself and also talk about the project from a point of view of the community partners. So hopefully you've all completed your assessments this evening and you've been fine with all of that. And this is obviously Talk English. The project is being delivered by the Kirklees Community Learning Trust. And the Kirklees Community Learning Trust is a body which oversees a group of partners that deliver learning for adults in Kirklees. We successfully gained the funding a few months ago, and you are part of the first stage of the project, which is looking at the volunteer teachers which will obviously deliver training to members of our community. So, to understand the project a little bit more, obviously Kirklees Council sits within the Kirklees Community Learning Trust, and they're the people that's going to manage us all, make sure that we do the best service we can do for both yourselves as volunteers and also for the learners that take part in the different activities. You've then got Kirklees College, who you must now know because that's where you are tonight. And they're going to, as specialists in delivering teacher training, specifically targeted towards ESOL, they're the people that have been chosen to deliver the training for you. And they will be delivering the 16-week programme or 5 weeks, depending if you've already got a teaching qualification. All the way through, you will obviously have contacts within all the organisations, but it will come down to what are called community partners. And we are part of the community partnerships that will help deliver and manage the learning. So, as I said, my name's Christina Simpkin and I'm from Paddock Community Trust. And we work out of community centres across Kirklees delivering adult learning, as do Ravensthorpe Community Centre, which obviously some of you may know about both organisations, as you might actually have found out about the project via both of our advertisement and promotion. So what we will ultimately be doing is we will be working with you to plan and deliver the programmes that you will then teach following your learning that you're going to be undertaking. So the courses that we'll be asking you to deliver will be delivered throughout Kirklees at targeted communities where there's obviously been identified ESOL needs. So the courses will be delivered throughout Kirklees and we'll always try to match a delivery site somewhere that's local to yourselves. So we won't be looking at if you live in, say, Meltham, we won't be having you travelling across to Dewsbury. We'll try and make it so that it's somewhere local to you because that's the best way about community learning is. And the reason why community learning works so well is because the organisations that deliver it understand the communities where they are. So Ravensthorpe and themselves have lots of experience delivering training in the different communities and understand their needs more. So when you do work on the project, we will be funding any public transport costs, so buses or trains, and we'll also be able to fund mileage on the project, but we are going to obviously keep it to a limit because, as with anything nowadays, budgets are quite tight. So what you're going to get from us, because obviously you're doing a great service for your community by undertaking these roles, what we're going to try and make sure that happens for you, and it will do, be assured, is you will fall into our volunteer packages. Both organisations are very experienced at working with volunteers. We work closely with Voluntary Action Kirklees, and they make sure that all our policies and procedures are totally up to date. As obviously you'll be joining our teams within our teaching and training department, you'll be subject to all our policies and procedures and support packages. The specific support that will be available for yourselves will be, you'll probably get a one-to-one mentor support, and they'll be there to, help you in those first initial sessions, complete observations, to give you some feedback on how to move forward. Also identify some of the training needs that you might have, because obviously we really value and promote the fact that we should always be learning throughout our lives. It's about lifelong learning. So there might be other programmes that you might do alongside the courses that you're doing with the college that a lot of time will come through the Kirklees Council element of their CPD programme, which is Continuous Professional Development, to make sure that you will continue to develop whilst you're in the role and you feel confident in what you're doing. Obviously, I know it's really easy that at the last meeting I attended and there were lots of questions that were asked, and unfortunately I won't be there to answer your questions directly tonight. But these are the 3 things that particularly came up for us at the last one. So the first one was, could this lead to employment? Obviously there's lots of different opportunities within the community setting for employment. We have advisors and outreach workers, we have teachers. My own background is that I worked in an area totally different from adult learning. I worked in hospitality management for over 10 years, and now I'm a fully qualified teacher that's a training manager within a community organisation. So there are opportunities, but I would always say you must be committed to obviously your development. If you're wanting to teach within our sector, then generally we are looking at people that have got Cert Ed or PGCE qualifications. There will be some work done with you by the college and by ourselves as partners in how that would map out. But when you're working in any voluntary organisation, there are opportunities, and you just have to keep speaking to people around you and seeing whether there's anything that suits your needs. Can you progress onto other courses? That came up. Obviously, of course you can. This element of the programme is obviously funded, which is your level 3. I myself completed a level 3 before going on to do my Cert Ed. It's a great platform to, one, see whether you really enjoy it, because it's something that you've never done before. But obviously, once you've done this part, you will have to actually find funding for any further courses yourselves. But there's student loans, etc. available. There's lots of different opportunities of how you can fund the programmes. And the college has got a great information centre that can give you all details about that. It's particularly coming nearer to the end of this programme. Are you given a code of conduct? Yeah, everyone that works within the voluntary sector is given a code of conduct. You will be classed as part of our teams, and I don't want you to think that as a volunteer that doesn't mean that you won't be a member of our team. Our organisations as charities, both Ravensthorpe and Paddock Community Trust, we're totally reliant on volunteers. Our trustees that sit above us, that make all management and strategical decisions, they're volunteers. So very much so, yeah, everyone's got an expectation of how and the way in which they do the job, but also you're valued as part of our team. And if you ever don't feel that you are in that position, you need to come and talk to either myself or Naheed, who manages Ravensthorpe. Obviously, like I said, I can't be there tonight, so I can't answer your questions directly. But if you have got any questions and you want some more information, or there's just anything really, you can contact myself. And my contact number is 01484 431 400, or you can give me an email. I'm certain that the ladies will be able to give you a copy of this PowerPoint to take away with you. There's also Naheed, who's the manager at Ravensthorpe Community Centre. So depending on who you think that you're going to get assigned to, or you want to be assigned to, it might be best that you contact whichever, but obviously we'll both be happy to help. And there's also Nadine that's overseeing the project from the point of view of the council and within the council's adult learning team. Nadine's great. You can contact her on 01484 22 1000. I'll let you know though, it is one of those speak to talk to the person we want to talk to, so you have to say her name, and it's Nadine Littlewood, and again there's an email contact there. So please don't be worried about anything, any questions, just drop us a line. So thank you very much for listening. Look forward to meeting you all on the project, and let's make it all a success.